Hello, this is A Harboring Light. My name is Mary. I simply give a contemplative perspective about the world around me. And this is my podcast in the new year. And new year, looking forward to everything that opens and helps and happens in the new year, 2023. I'm blessed to see it, and I'm looking forward to all the new beginnings in the new year. And I'm going to give you a full warning. My husband and I have 3 young children. So if you have, if you hear children in the background, that's our little kiddos being live and active. And if that's a nuisance for you, sorry about that. Just giving you a full warning. But you'll hear them, every so often. And as a reminder, I'm on Anchor and I'm on Spotify, but I'm also on different platforms, and I'm growing my podcast. So please keep an eye out on that for the Harboring Light on different podcast platforms, and also I'm growing my social media aspect. So you can find me on Minds, The Harboring Light on Minds, and also on Twitter, The Harboring Light. And I give you a million thanks to my listeners. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And please feel free to share this content. And it helped out a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And let's get into this, and let's talk about the topic, spirituality. Now, I think being spiritual is a great benefit, and not only for the purpose of knowing that you are more than yourself, but for and then everything that goes with knowing that you are more than yourself. You start to understand your fellow man better and want to feel the fellowship with your fellow man and more a sense of community. And then I think that's very beneficial for mental health and all that goes into it. But I want to dig in deeper to address this particular topic about spirituality from my point of view and what I observe. So, and I'm also going to add in personal experience that I have with spirituality. So, let's start out by talking about this particular topic about my childhood. So, my parents were both Baptist, and when I was a child growing up, they wanted to influence me in the Baptist faith and the Christian faith and everything. And I was really enthusiastic with it, and I really appreciate the aspect of being in a community and being around children and the fellowship and caring about one another. And also with the Baptist faith, being baptized is a huge part of it, and I thought that was really fundamental, and I thought that was really healing, holistic to experience something like that. And as I got older, about 12 or 13, I started to realize that the Baptist faith wasn't particularly the path for me, and I was trying to figure out all of that. And as I moved along and moved further, got older, around 15, 16, particularly 16, 17 years old, I started getting more anxiety and everything, when you're going through the process of growing up, especially when you're going through the process of being in high school, and particularly public high school. I have friends that went to private school, and then they transitioned and they stayed in the public school system. And I don't particularly know about the aspect of, growing up and being in private school. But I'm talking from a public school point of view, that the whole aspect of the social identity of trying to fit in and everything, sometimes it can weigh a lot. And all of that can give you a lot of stress sometimes, especially when you're young and you're trying to figure out your place in life, and it gets really hard. And I wanted to keep in tune with my happy-go-lucky aspect about life, but also at the same time, I was pragmatic of understanding my sense of surrounding, of how I felt about things and how I saw things, particularly peer pressure and everything else, of wanting to stay in tune with my own principles, of not wanting to follow what other people were doing, and wanting to be in tune with academics, be in tune with music, because music is a huge aspect of my life. I really enjoy music. And when I was in my teens, the whole aspect of sexuality and everything, I was firm. I wanted to, keep that intact, because, I wanted to be disciplined about that and understand that, it's a time and place for everything, and then, pursue that when I was ready. I didn't want to, jump and delve deep into that, really early. And I just wanted to stay in tune with all those principles about myself. And, we're all human, and anyone can be tempted, and I just was trying to figure out everything, and that can be a huge burden for someone that's really young. And at a certain point, when I was about 16, 17 years old, it weighed pretty heavy on me, all the anxiety and all the stress that I was dealing with in school and at home. And I was trying to figure out what actually to do about that. So, Christianity, as far as the spiritual aspects of Christianity, was I cherished it, and it was really important to me. But I just felt like there was something missing with me, because I just felt that I had a different path. And so I started to research different types of, spiritual faiths. And I started to learn and understand about the Buddhist path and Eastern philosophies and everything of that nature. And I gravitated more towards that, because it's, from what I understood and what I'm still learning as an adult and will forever learn, is that it's all about personal journeys, and everything is on results and trying to figure out things and understanding your path and understanding consequences to the path, and understanding charity and all that comes with it. Now, that, especially the aspect of meditation and just letting go and being present in the moment in time of which you're experiencing. And I think that those aspects are really huge. And because it reminds you that when you experience things in life, and good or bad, that you have to remember and appreciate what really matters. And then there's a purpose to things, and sometimes there isn't a purpose to things. But I think it's really powerful to know that within that, you can learn from those experiences. And particularly in the Eastern philosophy, it's observation is really important to grasp, and it's really important to understand how to do that properly, and to understand that there's suffering, the aspects of suffering, and what suffering means as part of the human experience of everything. And then especially with the Buddhist faith, when you start to dig deep into it, and I'm still for learning and processing everything with the Buddhist faith. So, I'm talking from a simplistic point of view. And as I get older and understand and practice more and learn more, it'll open up even more so. And to go back, I don't want to go too far off on a tangent, but I appreciate the Christian faith and all of I appreciate all types of faith, and I think that's really important to understand. And I think it's really important that's a deep conversation that people should have and should talk about. Because, as I had mentioned before with religion in our previous podcast, a lot of times it's a very brash, polarizing subject, because a lot of people have their own point of view about their particular faith, or point of view about not wanting their not being a part of a particular religion, or being atheist, what have you. I think that if we all appreciate the fundamental aspects of what it means to have faith, it can really help and bring people together. So let's go back to what I'm talking about now, as far as the Buddhist faith. And, as far as that point of view. So, I think that it helps you stay grounded when you start to realize the humanity of the aspects of taking control of suffering, and then what happens when you lose control of that. And then being in tune with why I'm particularly suffering in the way that I am, or why the loved ones or friends or co-workers or what have you, or strangers, or like the whole aspect of that. Like, what is that tied into? And a lot of these principles are addressed in the Buddhist faith. So, for instance, let's say, the process of family, and the process of material pursuits. It's very important to have pursuits of well-being, financial well-being, but when there's not, it's just when you feel yourself just chasing after it, and there's no sort of the purpose behind it, or there's no sort of compassion behind it, it's just turns into suffering. Because I think, from what I'm understanding and what I've learned throughout my process of the Buddhist faith, that you just lose sight and you start to suffer because it is devoid of any sort of meaning, and that's a lot of suffering behind that. And the whole aspects of family, when you're not in the present of understanding that, your family has their own they have their own personality and purpose, and there's all sense of purpose and the family dynamic and what your purpose is, and devoting yourself to your family and showing your appreciation. When all of that's blurred and lost, there's a lot of suffering in that too, and that's heavily addressed in the principles of Buddhism. So me personally, the things that I experienced dwelling on the Buddhist faith, especially meditation, has helped a lot. And it's still a process, it's still a journey that I'm to going through and developing and getting better with. But I'm just glad that I started young, trying to figure out my journey as far as faith. So, for instance, my middle child, he was born 2 months early, and the way he was born, it was very, very traumatic. So, before I knew it, one night, I felt a kick, and then, I had to go to the restroom, and I thought, okay, I just have to go to the restroom. And my son is crowding, and it was very shocking. I was like, oh my God, he's coming. And to process all of that and to try to stay calm as you possibly can, and try to know that this is a terrifying process, but at the same time, stay calm for yourself and your child is very, it's a lot to learn with that. And I'm just thankful that for my faith for that, because for my faith and my husband and my family for that, because if I didn't have that, it would have been a very hard process to go through. It wasn't easy, but I was able to go through the ebbs and flows of it a lot smoother if I didn't have these sort of principles in my life. And I can't stress enough the importance of it. And let me also add this right now. If you have experience, any kind of experience you have with faith, or you have this particular, even if you haven't, my female listeners haven't given birth, male listeners with wives and girlfriends and mothers and you've seen and experienced. Share your journeys with me. Particularly there's in Spotify there's a portion where you can leave comments, and feel free to share your comments about this. With your aspects about what I'm talking about, and particularly if you want to talk about this point of the segment or earlier in the segment, whatever you'd like to talk about, and to address this particular topic, please feel free. And please feel free to share and talk about this on my social media platforms that I'm on. As I mentioned, Minds and Twitter. And that's all you have to do is type in the Harboring Light and you'll find me. And I'm also, growing more on other social media platforms, and I'll plug that in other podcasts that I will record and post. And I just want to hear what your thoughts, and I'm a big component on responding quickly as possible and engaging with everyone. And so I want to leave that as an ending note, and I'm reaching the end of this particular podcast. This was Harboring Light in the new year, and I hope you enjoyed what you heard.